Hi, good beautiful Sunday, everyone. My name is Coach Darwin Rivers, and you are watching the live of the HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho, Buhay Iba Pa. We are at episode 151. And today is October 8th. It's a rainy day today here in Manila. But we are looking forward for another value-adding episode for this weekend here at the HR Cafe. Our topic later on for our free training would be conducted by Miss Ivy Llena, and this would be about amplifying the impact on employee total well-being through economic empowerment. A very, um, how can I say, controversial but very useful topic that companies can actually implement to actually help the total well-being of their employees. So let us start our program for today. Here at the HR Cafe, Trabaho Buhay Iba Pa, we are an online talk show program. And we've started uh, at the middle of the pandemic way back March of 2020. We've been doing this for 3 years now, and as I mentioned, we're already at our 151st episode for today. Week on week, we've been having experts, HR leaders, industries movers and shakers to guest here at the program to impart knowledge and experience to our audience. And I'm part of the HR Cafe servers. As I mentioned, my name is Coach Darwin Rivers. I'm the founder and president of the Philippines HR Group. I'm a certified life coach, a public speaker, motivational speaker, and HR consultant. I'm also the VP for HR of a BPO company here in Manila. Our other HR Cafe servers unfortunately won't be able to join us for today because they are busy preparing for our big event next week, which is the Philippines HR Group HR Summit 2023. Part of our program host is Mentor Alan Cañete. Mentor Alan is an HR and learning and development practitioner with more than 30 years actually of corporate uh, consulting experience. He's the director and president of Creative Moods Business Outsourcing. He's also the board of directors for the Philippines HR Group. And our other HR Cafe servers who unfortunately won't be able to join us today because they're busy preparing for the HR Summit is Mentor Rolde Ferentino. Mentor Rona has more than 20 years of HR practitioner experience working in different local and international companies. She is the president and CEO of Crush Social Geekers, a public speaker and HR consultant. She's also LinkedIn's top 100 Filipinos to follow. And of course, Mentor Tina Coang. Mentor Tina is an operations and HR leader with both local and overseas experience. She's a general manager for a retail company and soon a fast food chain that she'll be launching here in the Philippines. She is well known for online content and blog tinainmanila.com, and she's also one of LinkedIn's top 100 Filipinos to follow. Now, for all of you who just tuned into our program week on week, here at the HR Cafe, we provide timely news and updates. We impart knowledge and experience that are value adding and beneficial to our audience. We discuss problems, issues, and challenges and provide answers and resolutions on any hot HR topics or critical topics that is going on right now in our industry. We also provide free weekly training. Ito po yung inaabangan ng ating mga audience because at the second half of our program, we have experts and seasoned guest speakers or resource speakers who will be conducting free training based on the topic that they've chosen. And we also discuss new technologies, tools, and processes, and industry's best practice here in our program because our aim is to bridge understanding between employers and employees and provide inspiration and motivation as well as to advance HR here in the Philippines. Let us start our show. Every week, we've been starting our show with our wow quote for the week. And before I start the wow quote for the week, I would like to encourage everyone who's watching at this gloomy, rainy weather today. Please put on the comment section your name, your company, or the area where you are so that we can give you a shout out. Okay, and our wow quote for the week for today is coming from Mahatma Gandhi. According to Mahatma Gandhi, everyone wants to be strong and self-sufficient, but few are willing to put into words necessary to achieve worthy goals. Let me just repeat that. Everyone wants to be strong and self sufficient, but very few are willing to put in the work necessary to achieve worthy goals. This is a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. Since I'm the only one here at the HR Cafe for today, I would really like to encourage our audience right now to please put into the comment section how does this particular quote resonates to you. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng quote na ito coming from Mahatma Gandhi? And before we start, a shout out to Joanne Badango Holgado, who's watching from Cabuyao, Laguna. We also have Carmelita Tubadesa de Guzman, who's watching from Cavite. We have Dandy Rose Marciano. Hello, HR Cafe. Good Sunday. Good afternoon to everyone. We also have JP Castro, who's tagging her friends, his friends, Crystalline Rufo, Joe Bustamante, Mary Rose Boroso, Diana Maria Crisostomo, and JP says, hello, HR Cafe mentors, HRDM students. Student pala itong si JP Castro, rami pong students din ang talagang nanonood sa atin every Sunday because, of course, we provide you with the latest issues and topics about HR. So, ka-graduate pa lang kayo, alam niyo na kagad, meron na kayong kagad idea kung ano yung ginagawa at mga issues and problems na kinakahirap ng HR. We also have Kuya Bob. We learn something every day. Magandang hapon po, Kuya Bob from Mandaluyong. Maraming salamat. So, for our wow quote for the week, please share to me how that this particular quote resonates to you. According to Mahatma Gandhi, everyone wants to be strong and self-sufficient, but very few are willing to put in the work necessary to achieve worthy goals. You know what? This reminds me of a story where, actually, it's not a story, it's a sad reality that a lot of people right now they have ambitious goals. And don't get me wrong, having ambitious goals is something that we really encourage. Sabi nga, if you would be having dreams and goals in life, make sure it's something that is ambitious. Make sure that it's something that is really unattainable. Make sure that your goals and dreams are something that you would strive for. Diba? But ang problem kasi sa atin, marami sa atin ang nangangarap lang, nag-wishful thinking. Yung kanilang desire to achieve a certain goal, to achieve a certain dream is put into just that, wishful thinking. They're not able to really put on the necessary work o yung kailangan gawin para ma-achieve yung goal nila o yung dreams nila in life. For example, I have office mates before who would say that I would like to be a director, I would like to build a house, I would like to have a car, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? They're not doing things that would actually put them one step nearer to their goal. What I'm trying to say is that if you have a goal in life, if you have dreams or ambitions in life, make sure that it's something that is really grand. And if it's a grand dream, make sure that each and every day of your life, you do things that would make you nearer or one step nearer to that goal. Because if you will just put it into wishful thinking, wala pong mangyayari. I know that we've been saying this, that you are a magnet. As a person, you are a magnet of your thoughts and your feelings. But kung puro feelings and thoughts lang at walang action, wala pong mangyayari. Di ba sinasabi nga ng ating mga magulang sa atin, nasa tao ang gawa, nasa Diyos ang awa. Now, if we put it into the context of us being able to realize and being able to reach our dreams and ambition, it hindi puro dasal. Hindi dapat puro wishful thinking. Hindi puro dapat daydreaming. You need to action. You need to work on your dreams. Walang masama na mangarap. Ang masama ay yung nangangarap ka pero wala ka namang ginagawa para abutin ang mga pangarap mo sa buhay. And I just want to also share to you some thoughts coming from our audience. Sabi ni JP Castro, for me, mentor, work hard beats talents. If talent doesn't work, if you want something, then work for it because nothing is given. Tama, nothing is given free. Everything in this life is something that you should work on. Everything in this life you receive because it's something that you deserve. And the only way to deserve it is to work on it. Sabi ni Danny Rose Marciano, many is dreaming big, but only a few does actions to get their dreams. Tama, ito yung sinasabi ko. Napakarami sa atin, mga bata pa lang tayo, nangangarap tayo ng napakalaking mga pangarap, napakagandang mga pangarap. Pero as we grow old, nakakalimutan natin yung mga pangarap at ambition natin sa buhay. Yung mga goals and dreams natin, huwag nating sayangin. If we have some, kaya nga di ba, we are an advocate here at the Philippines HR Group and here at the HR Cafe into programming, mental programming, wherein we encourage you to have your dream journal. We encourage you to have your dream map para every day you're being reminded of what is your goal, what is your dream. And then, aside from being able to be reminded of your goals and dreams in life, you are able to help your mind, both consciously and subconsciously, to work things to realize those dreams and ambitions and goals that you have in life. So yan po ang maibabahagi ko sa inyo here for the Wow Quote for the week. If we have dreams, if we have ambitions, if we have goals, please do not only think of it, but work hard to achieve it. You can work hard and work smart, but do things every day to achieve your dreams. That's it for me, and let's go to our HR question for the week. Now, para sa mga HR dyan, I would like to hear your thoughts about it. May nag-post po sa Philippines HR Group, ang sabi sa question, mentor, can leave credits be taken out through suspension? So, ang background nito is, meron silang employee na isususpend nila ng 5 days. Pero, nakita rin nila na si employee na to ay merong 10 days na leave credits na available. Ang gustong gawin ng manager ng employee na yon ay yung 5-day suspension, alisin or kunin doon sa leave credits na na-earn ng empleyado. So, masususpend si empleyado pero bawasan yung leave credits niya. Tama po ba ito? What are your thoughts about it? Now, if you will be asking me, magkaiba po kasi ang suspension at ang earning ng leave credits. If you are being suspended, it's because it's a corrective behavior that is being done for you to correct a certain action or behavior that you've done against your company or against your co-employee. Ang leave credits po na ino-earn yan kasi benefit. Magkaiba po yung dalawang to. Hindi nyo po pwedeng kunin yung leave benefits ng tao at kunin at kunin doon yung days for suspension niya. Kasi ang mangyayari, hindi niya siya sinususpend. Binibigyan niya siya ng pagkakataon na mag-leave. And mawawala ng saysay yung reason kung bakit nyo nga siya sinuspend. You cannot use the earned leave credits to be taken out because the person has a pending suspension. Kahit na ilang araw pang suspension yan, hindi nyo po pwedeng gamitin yung leave credits. Kasi magkaiba yung dalawang ito. Okay? Now, let's go through our program, and this is a time where we provide you HR updates. Now, paalala lang po para sa mga co-HR natin sa Region 2 Cagayan Valley. Pinapaalala po namin kayo na effective October 16, ang Cagayan Valley po ay may bago na pong minimum wage. It is just based on RTW BP 2-22. Ito po ang nagtatakda ng panibagong minimum wage sa Region 2 sa Cagayan Region. And ito po ay effective October 16. Para naman po sa mga kababayan natin, mga HR natin na nasa Central Luzon or Region 3. Another paalala po, may bago po kayong minimum wage. Ito po ay mangyayari effective October 16. So make sure that you are updated on the new minimum wage requirement for Region 3. Ito po ay based sa minimum wage order RB 3-24. And lastly, for those who are in Soksagaran region, this is a region 12. Effective October 16 po, meron din po kayong bagong new minimum wage. Ito po ay based on RB 12-23. Ito po ay nakita na po natin nung earlier last month where nagkaroon ng movement ng minimum wage sa NCR. Tapos sumunod po ang Calabarzon. Na-predict na po natin to na ang iba't ibang region sa Pilipinas ay masisinuran po para po mapataas ang kanilang minimum wage, which is nangyayari. Nangyari na po to last year at ngayon dahil po sa taas ng bilihin, dahil po sa hirap ng buhay ngayon, dahil po sa taas ng inflation, yan po nakikita natin na kailangan po talaga natin mag-adjust sa minimum wage ang ating mga empleyado o ating mga workers. So paalala lang po sa lahat ng HR dyan, make sure that you're fully updated on the new minimum wage order for your particular region. Okay? And pinapaalala din po ng Philippine Security System na kung wala pa po kayong UMID ID, naku po, kailangan nyo na pong i-upgrade ang inyong SSS ID para po maging UMID ID. Ang SSS ay nagsimula na mag-issue ng UMID ATM pay card sa mga miyembro para maisulong ang financial inclusion sa bansa at para mapadali ang SSS enrollment ng disbursements account. So kung meron na po kayo UMID ID na ATM, kung maglo-loan po kayo or meron kayong benefits na makukuha sa SSS, doon na po didiretso sa bagong UMID ATM ID ninyo. So, magpunta lamang po sa pinakamalapit na SSS office sa inyong lugar para po makapag-apply ng bagong UMID ATM pay card. At para naman po sa mga nangangailangan ng multi-purpose loan, pinapaalala po na pag-ibig na po, pwede na po kayo mag-apply ng multi-purpose loan online. Ito po ay via the Pag-ibig website. Ito po ay via their mobile application at ito po ay 24/7. So pwede po kayong mag-apply any time of the day, either through the Pag-ibig website or through the Pag-ibig app. So i-ready nyo lang po ang inyong multi-purpose loan application form. Mada-download nyo doon sa site na yon. One valid ID, proof of income, and of course, kung meron po kayong Pag-ibig Loyalty Card Plus or Land Bank Cash Card kasi doon po papasok yung loan na mag-grant sa inyo ng Pag-ibig. For more information, you can check the website of Pag-ibig and you can also check the official social media. Pinapaalala po ng Pag-ibig na using your Pag-ibig Loyalty Card and Pag-ibig Loyalty Card Plus, meron po kayo 10% sa Jockey. Now, Jockey Boutique now offers 10% discount on regular price items by presenting your loyalty card or loyalty card plus. Terms and conditions apply. So kung nagpa-plan po kayo na bumili ng bagong wardrobe, punta po kayo sa Jockey at i-present nyo lang po ang inyong loyalty card or loyalty card plus para makakuha ng 10% discount. At alam ko po na itong week na to, napakainit na issue ang PhilHealth issue regarding data privacy kasi po nalaman na po natin at napatotohanan na po ng DITC na talaga naman pong na-hack ang system ng PhilHealth. Nag-announce po ang DITC na sa una nilang investigation, nakita po nila na talagang na-hack yung mga members data. Meron po mga members data talagang na-hack sa PhilHealth. Now, naglabas po ang PhilHealth ng ilang mga paalala. Una po ay para masigurado na ligtas ang inyong impormasyon, gawin po ang mga sumusunod. Huwag pong sagutin ang mga kahinahinang tawag o text messages. Huwag basta-basta buksan ang mga tanggap na email. Also, huwag i-click ang hindi siguradong link. Ako, ano po yan, nakikita po natin yan, maski sa mobile phones natin, may mga na-receive tayong text, ini-encourage po tayo na mag-click ng link, huwag niyo pong gagawin. At kung meron pa po kayong ibang mga katanungan, pumunta lang po kayo at i-check ang social media ng PhilHealth at ang website ng PhilHealth, which is philhealth.gov.ph. Napakalaking issue po ang data breach na nangyari sa PhilHealth. At ang tanging namin pong dasal, dahil po tayo as HR, tayo po ang kumbaga tayo ang steward ng health and benefits ng ating mga empleyado at tayo rin ang steward ng data nila. Now, kung ang mismong ahensya ng gobyerno ay nagkakaroon ng data leak or kumbaga nagkakaroon pagkataon para ma-hack ang system nila, hiling po natin ay sana po ay ma-improve ng PhilHealth yung kanilang system. At sana po ay tuloy na pong mahinto itong data privacy leak na nangyayari sa ating PhilHealth. Yan. Now, aside from that, the Philippines HR Group would like to remind everyone that we have an ongoing partnership with Infinite Care. Infinite Care is a health and wellness application. Just go to Google Store or Apple Store, download the Infinite Care app, create your register or registration, and then use the password PhilHRGN. At pag ginamit niyo po yun, magkakaroon po kayo na access for free sa lahat po ng application ng Infinite Care. So that's something that we are advocating. This is for your mental health of our HR and people leaders. Also, wag niyo pong kalilimutan. Gusto ko lang pong sabihin na due to public support, overwhelming public support, alam niyo po, nasisimula lang po namin ang pagpaplan ng Philippines HR Group HR Summit. Ito po yung annual summit na ginagawa natin every year since 2016. Nahinto lang po ito ng pandemic, nahinto siya noong 2020, 2021, 2022. Pero ngayong taon na po ito na 2023, nag-decide po kami na ibalik ang HR Summit. Ito po ang National HR Summit ng mga HR professionals and people leaders. And alam niyo po, 1 month lang po namin itong pinilano. At in that 1 month na nag-announce po kami na magkakaroon po ng HR Summit, nakakataba po ng puso ang overwhelming support ng ating mga community members. As of today, we have almost 450 registered sa ating HR Summit, pero only 300, maximum of 300 lang po ang may allow natin na maka-attend kasi po meron po talagang maximum capacity yung Grand Ballroom ng Sheraton Hotel. So, as of today po, meron pong 250 na bayad na, meron na lang po tayong 50 seats available. Kinilose po namin ang registration ng HR Summit nung nakaraang Friday, kahapon po, pero po lahat po na nakapag-register na. Pag nagbayad po kayo hanggang October 10, hanggang Tuesday, before closing of banking hours, masasama po kayo sa maka-attend ng Philippine HR Group Summit. At ang Philippine HR Group Summit po ay mangyayari next week na po ito sa October 13. Ito po ay Friday. Gagawin po namin napakaganda at makabuluhan ang Friday the 13th ninyo dahil po yun po ang araw ng ating HR Summit at ang ating theme sa HR Summit is P3s or paradigm and perspective on people strategies. Meron po tayong anim na uh, plenary speakers or keynote speakers at meron tayong more than 20 na panel speakers. So, lahat po ng mentors dito sa HR Cafe, nandun po sa Philippine HR Group Summit, yung mga moderators po, yung mga senior mentors po natin sa community, magkita-kita po tayo, lalo kung nakapag-register na po kayo, na-complete nyo na yung registration nyo, magkita-kita po tayo sa Friday, October 13, 2023 at the Sheraton Manila Hotel. Ito po yung bagong Sheraton Hotel sa tapat po ng NAIA 3 within the compounds of Resorts World. At yung bagong Sheraton po na yan, makita-kita po tayo sa third floor sa Grand Ballroom. Ang start po ng registration ay 7:30 a.m. And magsa-start po ang program natin. Ang conference proper ng 9 a.m. up to 5 p.m. Napakarami pong matututunan. We have international speakers, we have industry leaders, we have CHROs who will be speaking here at the HR Summit. So magkita-kita po tayo sa HR Summit this coming October 13. And also, gusto po namin sabihin sa inyo na meron na lang pong dalawang learning programs for this year. Philippine HR Group, ito po ang last run for 2023 ng 2-day HR Core Training Program. Ang HR Core Training Program po ay isang 2-day intensive bootcamp para po sa mga tao na gusto talagang ma-improve yung kanilang knowledge and skills sa total rewards, labor relations, talent acquisition, learning and development, and organizational development. So, and of course, including employee engagement. So, kung kayo po ay HR specialist, newly graduating, HR manager na gusto nyo ma-improve pa yung generalist nyo, or HR specialist na gusto nyo maging generalist, ito po ang pagkakataon. Mag-enroll po kayo sa 2-day HR Core Training Program. Ito po ay nakaschedule sa November 18, 19 sa Discovery Suites dito po sa Ortigas, Pasig. At ang registration po ay nasa pin post ng Philippines HR Group. You can register now kasi po limited din po ang seats sa HR Core Training Program. We've been running the HR Core Training Program here in Manila pag-batch 3 na to, pero in the provinces, we have HR Core Training Programs in Cebu, in Iloilo, in Davao, and even Palawan. Pero this year po, dahil po kakabukas pa lang ng ating industry, ng Philippines post-pandemic, nag-focus po kami sa Metro Manila. So ito po yung last run for this year ng HR Core Training Program, Manila Batch 3. Magsa-start po ito November 18, 19. At para naman po sa mga companies na naghahanap ng supervisory and managerial training programs, we have a new program in the Philippines HR Group. Ito po tinatawag naming LEAD, or ang Leadership, Empowerment, Accountability, and Diversity Training Program. This is a 2-day leadership training program. Ito po ay para sa mga supervisors, managers, department heads. Hindi lang po sa HR, kahit sa ano pong department. Ito po ay really para po sa mga leaders ng kumpanya. Kung meron po kung gusto nyo pa mag-attend at ma-improve pa ang leadership skills and quality ng yung mga tao, i-enroll nyo po sila sa lead program ng Philippines HR Group. Ito din po ay magyayari sa November 18, 19. Ang registration po dyan ay nakapost sa pin post ng Philippines HR Group sa FB page po natin. Okay? And let's see if we have any other announcements. Yes, nagpapasalamat din po pala kami dahil po just recently ang HR Cafe ng Philippines HR Group ay finalist po sa Gawad Maestro Award na ginanap itong buwan na to sa Aklan, sa Boracay. Ang Philippine HR Group HR Cafe program ay ginawaran ng finalist status for the Gawad Maestro Award for the most outstanding learning and development organization for an NGO. Nakakataba po ng puso kasi po ang mga awards po talaga na tinatanggap ng Philippine HR Group at HR Cafe, ibang organization po talaga. At talaga nakaka-recognize na ginagawa po natin para po sa ating community. At maraming salamat po PSTD for your recognition for this. Also, um, for all of you guys who is not yet part of the Philippines HR group, we have the Philippines HR group in Facebook. We have more than 310,000 members there. And we also have a growing community in LinkedIn. We have 35,000 members in LinkedIn. Please join us if you have any questions, HR questions. Please post it at the main page of the Philippines HR group in Facebook. And yun po, patuloy po kayong sumuporta sa HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho po, iba pa. And of course, sa lahat po ng programa ng Philippines HR Group. Napakadami po daming pinaplano for 2024. Hopefully, makasama po kayo at maging parte po kayo ng mga initiatives na gagawin po namin next year. But again, makita-kita po tayo sa HR Summit sa Friday. Now, as promised, we are already at the second half of our program. At ang ating pong topic is about amplifying the impact of employee total well-being through economic empowerment. And ang ating guest speaker or resource speaker ay wala pong iba kundi si Miss Ivy Llena. Ivy Llena is an independent consultant with a career spanning diverse fields since 2009. Her focus and interest centers around human resource development, inclusive economic growth, human-centered leadership, and motivational interviewing. For over a decade, she has designed and implemented comprehensive training programs covering vital areas such as leadership, conflict resolution, emotional intelligence, team dynamics, and employee well-being. In 2011, she expanded her horizon and extending her services to non-profit sector in the Philippines where she facilitated capacity building programs. Yan po ang focus ni Ivy Llena ngayon. And leveraging her cross-sector expertise, she collaborates with HR professionals, private sector leaders, and human service practitioners, helping them translate complex concepts like psychological safety, human rights, social justice, and inclusive economic growth into actionable items that drives positive change. Ito po yung sinasabi ko sa iyo kanina. For me, it's a controversial topic kasi karamihan po na perspective ng mga employer is ang mga empleyado pasahurin lang. Pero alam po natin na pag inalagaan po natin ng ating mga employees, pag binigyan po natin sila ng mga programs and initiatives, talagang sumusuporta sa kanilang well-being, sa kanilang growth, not only financial growth, but also psychological, mental, and career growth, talaga pong magiging mas productive po ang ating mga employees. So, just a background po with regards to Ivy, she has a Bachelor of Arts in Management from CIT University in Cebu. Cebu-based po si Ivy. And before pursuing her master's degrees at the Brown School at Washington University in the St. Louis, US, she dedicated 7 years as Philippines Program Director at an organization designed and implement economic empowerment programs and services for employees in various organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to have here at the HR Cafe, Miss Ivy Llena. Hi, Ivy.
Hi, Coach Darwin. Magandang hapon.
All the way from Cebu, si Ivy. Ivy, before I give you the floor to start your presentation, napakarami po doon sa ating live. Sabihin mo nga sa amin, Ivy, bakit importante ang employee well-being through economic empowerment?
So, well, nabanggit mo na, Coach Darwin, it's very important kasi when somebody is it translates into productivity sa workplace. So there's so many benefits to not just the person per se, but to the organization itself if nabigyan ng importansya yung well-being ng isang employee.
Agree. It will impact not only their productivity but also their attrition, bababa ang attrition,
Mhm.
tataas ang productivity, and also engagement, no? Engagement sa employees. So, Ivy, I will give you the floor. I know you have a very interesting and long topic that you would like to share to us, our audience right now. Napakarami po ang matututunan ng ating mga tagapanood at tagapakinig. I'll give you the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ivy Llena of Ivy Llena Consulting.
Thank you, Coach Darwin. Thank you, Philippine HR Group, for this opportunity to share my knowledge and expertise. So, sabi nga ni Coach Darwin, medyo controversial itong ating topic ngayon. So, which is actually why I'm very passionate about really bringing attention into this conversation. All right. So medyo nag-freeze lang yung aking yung aking slides. But yeah, this is our topic today, amplifying the impact of employee well-being and mental health through economic empowerment. So I want to emphasize the through economic empowerment because oftentimes kasi this is kind of one of the most neglected part when it comes to discussions about employee mental health and well-being. So in this presentation, we are going to cover the following things. So una sa lahat, we are going to understand kung ano ba yung link ng economic empowerment sa mental health ng isang person at saka sa overall well-being. We are going to understand, i-dissect natin kasi the term economic empowerment is a term that is not oftenly discussed. It's not often used in the realm of HR. So we're going to understand that. Pangalawa, we're going to understand, we are going to talk about going beyond the medical model and why the holistic approach is very essential. So October is Mental Health Month, and it's really fascinating and awesome to see a lot of organizations and individuals um, doing a lot of programs related to mental health, how to address depression and anxiety. However, oftentimes, just what I have mentioned a while ago, economic empowerment or the financial aspect of mental health is often neglected. And so, hopefully, by the end of this presentation, we will have a better appreciation of why we want to incorporate economic empowerment into enabling the mental health and wellness of our staff. And then we are going to talk about the role of financial capability. And pag-uusapan natin kung ano ba itong financial capability. So I'm sure that a lot of you are familiar with the term financial literacy in our organization that's being used a lot in our companies. But what is the difference between financial literacy and financial capability, and why is it important to building economic empowerment? And then, of course, I'm going to share studies also. I would like to say that I would like to support my presentation with studies. And at the end of the presentation, we are going to talk about how we can incorporate economic empowerment practices into your wellness strategy. So I'm going to share practical ideas and strategies. So siguro na nasabi niya, banggit kanina ni Coach Darwin that this is a very controversial topic, but maybe because the idea of kung paano ba ito i-implement might be difficult. So I'm going to share practices and ideas that you can incorporate, especially if you're trying to think about planning for next year. This is a good topic for you can get a lot of ideas. I'm going to share a lot of ideas on how you can incorporate it. And then, of course, I'm going to offer possible next steps, learning opportunities. If you want to deepen your knowledge about how to do this, I will be sharing resources and opportunities at the end of this presentation. And if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box. We'll be happy to address them at the end of my presentation. So just a little bit about myself, so about my work. So I am a trainer, I'm a public speaker, and I'm also an economic empowerment practitioner. So nabanggit kanina ni Coach Darwin that I am into I'm doing several things. I do capacity building programs and I do economic empowerment programs. Since 2011, I have designed and facilitated research-based, culturally adapted, human-centered financial education programs in the Philippines for students, professionals, and families in the Philippines and abroad. So the reason why I am so passionate about this topic is that before I got into the economic empowerment side of my work, I was solely focused on human resources development. I was doing training programs and leadership programs. However, when I was eventually exposed to my work in the economic empowerment field, I started to see my work in the HR development field using a different lens. So nakikita ko na there are concerns and problems that employees face that are not being met by traditional HR approaches. And so sabi ko, I have to start introducing concepts na hindi medyo popular in the HR field. However, during the pandemic, so marami tayong nakikitang problema, say for example, how the lack of economic empowerment impacts performance and mental health and other issues that employee retention and engagement. So when the pandemic happened, nakita natin na yung those who are more economically empowered, they are the ones who are more resilient. Sila yung mas lesser yung impact sa kanilang mental health. And so after that, I made a decision to speak more about it, to bring the conversation into platforms like this. So I'm grateful for this opportunity. Okay, so what is economic empowerment? So actually, it is more than just receiving a salary. Some people might say, well, once you are employed, you are already economically empowered. Well, that is true, but that is only one aspect of what it means to be economic empowered. It goes beyond finding a job. It refers to the process of enabling individuals, employees to have greater control of their financial situations, and they must have access to resources. And it is about giving employees tools, knowledge, and making sure that they have access and resources they need to improve or to maintain their economic well-being, so that when financial shocks happen, some unforeseen incidents happen, such as the pandemic, or you have a family emergency, then you will be able to withstand that financial shock, and also will help you participate fully in contributing to the success of your business. Ito yung binabanggit ni Coach Darwin kanina, that a lot of organizations are questioning the importance of the relevance of being emotionally well and mentally well to the success of a business. So I'm just going to breeze through this information because I want to make sure that we have a strong foundation. So understanding the link, how economic empowerment impacts mental health and well-being. So ito yung mga links. When somebody is in poverty, when somebody is unemployed, of course, we're talking about this in the context of employees. So they are employed. But even though they are employed, they can still experience the lack of economic empowerment because karamihan sa kanila, maybe your employees have high levels of debt. They have lack of access to healthcare or work-related stress, financial insecurity, and housing inability. Ito yung mga situations or mga examples of how economic empowerment impacts mental health and overall well-being. So also, this month is Mental Health Month, and there is a strong emphasis on, medical models. For example, karamihan sa nakikita natin is teaching people how to overcome anxiety and depression and other mental health issues. So let us understand that there is a bi-directional relationship between mental health and economic difficulties. So as what's here on the slide, it is important to note that economic causes of mental illness or mental health issues are often interact with other factors such as, genetic disposition, individual coping mechanisms, and support systems. And additionally, yung relationship between economic factors and mental health is very complex. And like I said, it is bidirectional. So mental health issues can also lead to economic difficulties. And also, economic difficulties can lead to mental health issues. So it is a vicious cycle. So our challenge should be now, how can we incorporate interventions into our existing programs to cut this vicious cycle? So very briefly, I'm going to share with you studies, kung ano ba yung sinasabi ng studies telling us about economic empowerment and wellness. Ano-ano ba yung connection? So there are a lot of studies. If you look at online, you're going to figure out, you will realize na ang dami-daming studies to show that there really is a strong link between economic empowerment and wellness. So some of the examples here is that the one that you're seeing on the slide. So one example is money troubles contribute to toxic stress that interferes with healthy human development. And another study shows that problem debt, so it's not good debt, but there's problem debt, or including unmanageable debt, such as consumer debt, takes a toll on people and health and well-being. And another study says that money troubles also negatively affect relationship with others, including family members. So based on my experience, based on my observations, and I'm sure that kayo din na when if somebody or if an employee has money problems, it can negatively affect their relationship with others. So marami akong nakikitang post minsan sa sa Philippine HR group asking, sharing about how nanghihiram ng pera sa colleagues na hindi nababayaran and stuff like that, and how it affects the team dynamics and how it affects relationships. And then there's also research conducted in other countries. So we're trying to show here that really being financially capable or being economically empowered can predict. Meron siyang determines whether you will be mentally well and you will be physically healthy. So there is a study conducted sa Great Britain that they were able to document that financial capability has a significant substantial effect on psychological health in older persons. And they found out na pag financially literate ka, yung financial literacy is more strongly associated with mental health than health literacy. So itong study na to, I find this very interesting because I know that we care about our employees. We want them to be healthy, and then we provide them with programs and other activities to help them stay healthy, right? So siguro meron kayong mga gym membership to help your employees stay healthy. However, according to this study, na hindi yung it is not the training that it is it is not the health literacy training that makes people become healthy. It is actually being financially capable. So I find this part very, very interesting. So kahit na i-train mo yung, kahit na gumawa ka ng program, kahit gumawa ka ng interventions to help your employees stay healthy, if they are not financially well, then they will not be able to afford healthy food. They will not be able to afford gym memberships and so on. So things like that. And then even some studies include that, dapat pag tinuruan mo yung person and how to become healthy, you should incorporate financial literacy into it so that they are able to implement or spend for para magagastusan nila kung ano yung magagawa nila, kung ano yung gusto nilang gawin for their health. So here's another study on the impact of financial anxiety. So this is a study done in the US. They surveyed about almost 17,000 employees and 93 employers. So the result of the study is this. So 47% of those respondents were living from paycheck to paycheck. 25% of them have serious financial stress. And the result of the study in terms of financial, kung ano ba yung financial impact is that, kung ano yung financial impact to the workplace is that people who have financial anxiety are twice likely to miss work in account of financial issues, of finance issues. They spend 20 hours per week at work dealing with financial matters. So this is how much. So if you do the math, you compute 20 hours per week for people who are experiencing financial anxiety. You make that computation and how much is it costing the business. And aside from the financial impact, itong study na to is directly shows kung ano yung psychological, physical, and social impact when an employee experience financial difficulties or financial anxiety. So the first one is anxiety, of course. Next is depression. Third one is increase in suicidality. And the fourth one is relational conflicts. And these conflicts can be in the workplace, and it can also extend into the, into their personal lives. So this is how powerful, ganito ka grabe, ganito ka deep ang impact of financial anxiety. So it is important that we go beyond the medical model, and why a holistic approach is really very essential. So sa nabanggit ko na kanina, this month, this is October is a mental health awareness month, and a lot of people and a lot of organizations are shedding light, are placing emphasis on making sure that people gets all the help they need if they have anxiety, if they have depression. They have access to mental health support. Coach Darwin kanina showed their partnership with this particular mental health provider, and which is really, really great. Employees need that, but we need to go beyond the medical model. And because, like I've mentioned earlier, itong mental health is complex. It is multifaceted, and it is influenced by many factors. So not just biological factors, the psychological, social, and also the economic factors. And so while yung economic causes are part lang of the equation, they contribute significantly to mental health problems. Ito yung nabanggit ko kanina na, when somebody is living in poverty, kahit na meron siyang trabaho, if marami naman siyang utang or hindi naman niya na-manage yung kanyang finances, it can still contribute to mental health problems. And here are some examples of, economic causes and factors that can impact mental health. Yung nabanggit ko na kanina, yung poverty, yung lack of financial capability. So let's talk about the 4 dimensions of financial capability. So we want to the 4 dimensions of financial capability is that we want to help our employees have control over their day-to-day and month-to-month expenses. They have to feel that they are in control, and they have to have the ability to or capacity to absorb financial shocks, like any family emergency. They have to have the capacity to absorb the financial shocks related to those incidents. And they must have a plan to meet financial goals. And the 4th dimension is having the financial freedom to work freely and make choices to enjoy uh, life. Like what I've mentioned earlier, maraming sumusweldo ka nga, but if you do not have the freedom to be able to work freely, kasi siguro nag, marami kang, marami kang consumer debt and you're not able to focus on work because alam mo that by the time your salary arrives, yung sweldo mo pupunta doon sa mapupunta doon sa bayarin mo. So it can affect your freedom to perform better at work. So ano ba yung mga benefits and advantages of financial capability? So this is based on the study conducted by Dr. Sheridan. Ang sabi niya dito, based on the asset theory. So maraming benefits and advantages. So ang una doon is physical health. So financial literacy, sa nabanggit ko na based on their studies that I have shared earlier, financial literacy has more positive effects on health than health education itself. So even if you provide health education to your staff, if they are not financially capable, then they are less likely to be able to afford things that will lead to their positive well-being. It also has impact on relationships. So when somebody is financially capable, it can foster positive relationships, not just in the workplace but also in your employees personal lives. And as you know, kung ano yung what happens in your employees personal lives can also impact how they perform in the workplace. So it's a cycle, it's interconnected. And in terms of work performance, it impacts their productivity, it reduces absenteeism, and it makes them perform better because based on my experience, nabanggit ko kanina that I develop financial capability programs for different organizations in the Philippines. So they come from different industries like BPO industry, food manufacturing industry. And when they become financially capable, it really helps them with their productivity at work. So it reduces their absenteeism. Um, some of my isa sa mga examples of my experience is that si employee, for example, they sometimes go to work late and only to realize na the reason behind that behavior is that wala silang pamasahe. They don't know how to set aside money for work-related expenses. So they ended up trying to look for money before going to work. So they're not prepared. So that would, so ang nangyari, nalilate sila sa trabaho nila. And once we were able to help them, develop those habits and behaviors, it eventually led them to, reduce all of these negative workplace behaviors. They started going to work early. They're more focused on their jobs. Kasi karamihan sa kanila, when they have a lot of debt, for example. So one of the examples that in one of our experiences is that there is a group of employees that they were entrenched in deep debt. So they're no longer motivated to work because alam nila na pag susweldo na, yung kikitain nila pupunta na lang dun sa predatory lender. Yung nagpa 5-6. So we were able to help them get out of that situation, their performance improved. And then it also helps with mental health. It reduces money-related stress and promotes positive mental health. And also one of the benefits of being financially capable is future orientation. So what we found out and what research is telling us is that when people are financially capable, they are more future oriented. They are more open to preparing for the future. They're more open to, maybe investing money to upskill themselves, and it makes them hopeful. It just generally makes somebody a better person, a better worker when this individual is financially capable. So ganito karami, ganito ka broad ang advantages of being financially capable. I don't know where my other slides went, but this is the last part actually of my slides. So I don't know what happened to the rest of my slides. But how would you integrate economic empowerment practices into your wellness strategy? So I would like to spend a couple of maybe I'll spend the rest of my time talking about how can you really incorporate this. So earlier nabanggit na natin na it is really if it's really really very important, and that the focus on mental health and well-being tend to be on the medical model. People get people companies are offering access to healthcare like counseling for depression and anxiety. But what about economic empowerment practices? How can we make them financially capable at work? If sinasabi natin na it has broad impact. So number one, and this is based on experiences and how we help organizations. Number one practice is that you can utilize existing resources. So, for example, it does not necessarily mean to say kasi na if you want to economically empower somebody or your employees, na hindi ibig sabihin na salary increase lang yung solution. That will be very helpful. Additional income will be very helpful. But what if you have limited budget? How can you put this into practice? Number one is utilize existing resources. For example, what you can do with this is educate staff about benefits and how they can use it properly, like SSS loan, pag-ibig loan. So si Coach Darwin earlier, nabanggit niya he talked about how to access pag-ibig loan. And based on our experience, you'll be surprised to see that a lot of employees are not aware of the details of the benefits or how much yung kina-contribute nila to SSS or pag-ibig, or they don't know na meron pala silang benefits na makukuha. So one of the ways that you can integrate economic empowerment practices is to educate your staff about the benefits and how they can use it properly. Because a lot of staff are just applying for loans and for things that are not very important. And when somebody gets into debt, that can impact their mental health as well. Second is offer different levels of financial education. Oftentimes, ang ginagawa ng companies is that they invite somebody to come and do a 1 hour or 2 hour presentation about financial literacy. So the problem with this kind of approach, the gap with this kind of approach is that not everybody's iba-iba yung situation ng staff, ng employees. So you might want to offer basic and advanced. Oftentimes, the financial literacy curriculum or the content of the financial literacy offers more advanced concept that may not be applicable to those who may be struggling financially. So you want to consider different levels. So there's basic, and then you do the advanced programs. And also you can include topics like avoiding scam and how to avoid predatory lenders. So it was discussed earlier that anyone can be a potential victim of scams. So educating employees how to avoid email, how to detect scams, and how to kung paano iiwasan yung pag-click ng link na hindi mo kilala. And then also this, you should also incorporate topics about avoiding predatory lenders. Based on my experience, I don't know, maybe let me know in the chat, or maybe later on Coach Darwin can share experiences. But we have worked with employees before who were victimized by predatory lenders. So these have so an example of a predatory lender could be an institution that offers, loans, that offers financial services or products, but and the money, it's very easy to access these loans. However, kinukuha yung ATM, right? So kinukuha yung ATM to make sure that they really pay. So our experience with this is that it greatly affected the mental health and motivation of the person because, of course, we are all we one of the reasons why we work is because we want to earn money. So for those individuals we work with, na they pawn their ATMs to predatory lenders, it affected their mental health very much. It affected their motivation. So it is very important for it is important to educate our employees about what predatory lenders are up to and how to avoid them. So these are examples of integrating these practices into our day-to-day initiatives. The next practical example is you can offer financial coaching and debt counseling, but you have to make it accessible, inclusive, and free of judgment. I've noticed that there are several organizations that are incorporating financial coaching into their support services to their employees. But I'm hoping that it's accessible, it's inclusive, and that employees are free to, to converse, to share about their financial issues without judgment. And also the thing about debt counseling. So although we want to make sure that our employees know where to access resources when they do need money, but the importance of debt counseling is that uh, before when a person, so this is based on research, so when a person undergoes debt counseling before sila magpa-file ng loan, their debt actually reduces by about 30%. Kasi most of the time people would think this is how much money I would need and this is how much money I would take a loan, maybe sa SSS or sa Pag-ibig. But in reality, ganito lang pala yung kailangan nila. So if you are able to help your employees um, make vital decisions about how much money they actually just need versus how much money they want, then you will be able to reduce the instances of them having money problems and having to pay for the loan that they took. And another example is create opportunities for staff to act on knowledge. So kanina I was looking for the slides, but really looking for the slides where I was supposed to show the difference between ano ba yung financial literacy and ano ba yung financial capability. So financial literacy is about the skills and the knowledge, and this is our traditional approach. This is the common thing. But financial capability is about the combination of skills and knowledge and the opportunity to apply the skills and knowledge that the person acquired. So it is important for us to understand that if we want our employees to be financially well, if we want them to be economically empowered, it is not enough that we teach them the skills and the knowledge. But at the same time, we provide the opportunity for them to act on what they learned from the financial literacy program. And there is usually a gap in that area. So one of the ways that you can address this is that create opportunities for staff to act on their knowledge. Say, for example, instead of maybe kasi what I'm seeing these days is that there are several companies and they're very well meaning. They wanted to support their employees who are having financial issues, and they tie up with certain organizations that offer financial products and services. Again, this can be very controversial, but somehow this these companies that are offering financial products and services could be offering like very high interest rates, right? So what you can do is you can tap external resources like CDFIs, or that's community development financial institutions, because these institutions offer very low interest rates, or you can refer them to cooperatives, for example. So these are just some of the ways that you can do to help your staff become economically empowered. And you can also do that by creating a referral list of institutions that offer safe and affordable financial services and products. And this may cost you a little bit of time to put together, but this will not really cost you a lot of money. So if you really want to make sure that your staff have access to safe money services, you might want to create a referral list of institutions that they can go to or they can approach if they want. The next practical idea is that, since we were talking about how you amplify the impact of your total wellness programs through economic empowerment. So this list is not exhaustive, but these are just ideas that we see work for different organizations. So another idea is that you can weave into your health literacy, maybe instead of just talking about, oh, these are the healthy foods that you can eat. You might want to consider, for example, budgeting for healthy work lunches. So by doing that, you're actually hitting two birds with one stone. You are teaching them how to make better food choices, and at the same time, you are helping them build financial budgeting skills. And another idea is, use FLE, or financial literacy education, as part of the onboarding. So instead of just doing it once a year, or maybe when you see that their employees are experiencing financial problems, then you become reactive and teach them financial literacy. How about you incorporate it into into the onboarding? And another practical example is, if you have wellness activities that require staff to travel, so one of the ways to ensure that they actually participate or attend those initiatives is, probably you want to provide transportation stipends and stuff like that. So these are just examples. They're very practical. It will not require a lot of investment, but it is something that you can start working on. Several organizations now, I'm not sure in about whether this is happening already in the Philippine setting, but in some other countries, the HR department is starting to create their own financial education department, just to support the needs, the financial and economic wellness needs of their staff. So again, to close this presentation, the benefits of being financially capable is broad and wide. So it impacts physical health, it benefits relationships, whether it's at work or in your personal lives. It benefits your mental health. It makes people more hopeful for the future. They are open to investing in themselves and upskilling themselves, making themselves better. And also, in terms of workforce, in terms of performance at work, it has shown to increase productivity, reduce absenteeism, and other behaviors that lead to lack of production. All right, so I think that ends my presentation. So possible next steps and learning opportunities is right here in front of me. So in these slides, these are the programs that we are offering. We can help organizations design or revamp your wellness programs, and by weaving economic empowerment principles. And this can be embedded into your current wellness and or employee engagement programs, and this can include referral building. And we also offer demographic specific financial education, because we know that each organization has unique employee demographics, and so therefore we believe that financial education programs should be customized to your specific workforce group, and that which is very crucial. And then our this tailored approach ensures that your employees receive the knowledge and tools aligned with your needs. And we can also offer human-centered financial education training. So thank you very much. And if you're interested in learning more, if you're curious how we can better support your organization, here's my email on this slide. Coach Darwin.
Okay, Ivy. Good afternoon. Actually, I have a few questions in
Mhm.
mind with regards to your topic, but I'm happy that you were able to extensively discuss about uh, having a right program with regards to amplifying the impact of employees' total well-being through economic empowerment.
Mhm.
My first question is, how would you gauge what type of program, if I'm an HR person, I
Mhm.
mean, for all of the HR leaders who are listening right now or who'll be reviewing the replays, we are in HR, or if I'm a people leader, how can I identify what type of program would fit the needs of my employees? Kasi hindi po pwede namang sabay-sabay kasi
Mhm.
very limited din naman ang time and
Mhm.
resources.
Mhm.
So, how would you gauge? How would you have your HR managers, HR directors, your people leaders be able to gauge properly what type of programs they should launch at least?
Well, it's a very good, valid question, especially pag sinabi natin, we have to consider the budgets and allocate our resources, they have to identify primarily kung ano yung mga concerns that are very important. And then from
Let's
there,
say ang concern is ano, madaming nagre-resign kasi meron kami competitor na mas mataas yung binibigay na sweldo or mas maganda yung binibigay na benefits, and we won't be able to compete side by side with their salary and benefits. But what type of program can we actually implement to make our people stay and be more productive with us?
okay, so that's a very challenging question to answer, because you're speaking about, better salary. The competition is
Mhm.
offering a better salary, but you can also offer non-monetary benefits. For example, a lot of organizations are using financial capability as one of their benefits to retain their employees. Like they have their what you call the savings program, for example. Like, okay, if you stay with us, so they offer like a savings program for as long as you stay within the organization. We offer you this savings, and then we will probably match it. So it actually depends. Like, we cannot stop employees from leaving, but maybe you can look at other benefits that the competition might not be offering. Say, for example, nasabi ko na nga, savings program.
Hello, savings program.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, in terms of that particular savings program, what do you mean savings program, like a cooperative or a savings program where you just invite a wellness, a financial wellness um, speaker to teach your employees how they can save and invest better? I mean, so maybe you can provide examples, or you can provide us what would be the best, let's say, action item. I mean, like the example that I've given. We had, kasi nangyayari talaga to.
Mhm.
Uh, companies are completely competing with one another with regards to benefits and salaries. And you're right that the best way to do it is to offer non-monetary benefits that your competition is not offering. Aside from that, it will be your culture, diba? But when we go to the programs, you're saying that you can offer a savings program. Can you be more specific? Are you saying that let's invite a mentor, financial mentor that can teach our employees the proper way of savings and investing, or are we going to create a cooperative like other companies are doing so that even if they're here in the organization with their investment in the cooperative, they can still earn more? Or what other programs or initiatives you might
So that is
want
that's
to
a good
recommend?
example. What other companies are doing is that they actually save money on behalf of their staff. So every month they set aside a certain amount for their staff, so they deposit it separately. So they don't give the money to their staff, and so
Mhm.
they put it in a savings account. So the company keeps it for them. So, for example, I've known people, I've known companies who would say, "Sige, if we are going to incorporate a savings program for our employees, like saving maybe depending on the range, no? For example, like 5,000 pesos per month. These are for like, I've known this, there are people in managerial positions who are offered, sige, we will offer you 5,000 pesos per month in saving for as long as you stay within the company, and then you can only get that savings, the accumulated amount of savings, when you leave that company. So that one offers an incentive for this person to stay in the organization, because alam niya na if the company is not going to do the saving for this individual, then they're not capable, they will not be able to save on their own. So that's just an example.
Got it, got it. There's a question here, Ivy, coming from Danny. How to open up to traditional management this economic empowerment program, and to do you think it's time to open up to management about these kinds of programs?
Well, I I think it is a matter of how you open these programs to the management.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be yes, it would be very helpful to offer this to the management, but always present the benefits. Like why always present why it would benefit the organization to um, have this kind of initiatives. Like you can use data, you can use research about how it actually directly impacts the business if we do implement these kinds of programs, like in terms of employee retention. You must be able to communicate.
Got it. So ang sinasabi ni Ivy is, Daniel, sinasabi ni Ivy is, before you actually talk to your leadership team, have a report or a data available to present. For example, what is your current attrition for the year? What is the cause of that attrition?
Mhm.
What are the drivers of the attrition? And then this is your recommendation. This is your program. This is the recommendation for the program. What will be the cost? And what will be the expected outcome. Para kumbaga bago ka sumabak sa gera or sa pag-explain with your leadership team, meron kang naka-prepare na.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
So,
that's
okay.
correct. And
Another,
also,
mhm.
and I would just like to share an example, Coach Darwin. Like when we were working with this particular organization, this was a BPO.
Mhm.
They're the main one of the main problems that the company was facing was late tardiness. Often people
Mhm.
are tardy. And then upon doing some research, it turned out that ito palang the employees pala are having difficulty, like they have difficulty spending for their fares. So the intervention now becomes a financial education intervention. And then we taught them how to make sure that they have to actually prepare for work related expenses like transportation. meals, lunches, and stuff like that, so they don't have to, para hindi na sila mamoblema the morning before they go to work, before they actually look for money to spend for transpo. So simple things like that. It's just a matter of really understanding, depending on the symptoms that you are seeing, and getting to
Mhm.
know go deep into the root causes talaga. And if you see that it is something that can be addressed by something related to what I'm talking about, then by all means do it. But hindi naman lahat ng issues kasi are driven by are caused by the lack of financial capability.
Got it. Another question in my mind would be, Ivy, what is the normal investment for this kind of program? Is it investment intensive, or it can be more cost effective for our leaders to actually do it? Or if it's cost effective, what are those projects that is cost effective na hindi kakain ng maraming cost sa company when we launch a program like this?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Earlier, I shared examples of initiatives and activities that can be done without cost. Say, for example, if you want to, one of the ways that you can help employees become financially capable is to be aware that they have resources, pwede silang mag-loan sa SSS and stuff like that na medyo mababa yung
Interest,
interest, rather than going to another lender.
loan shark.
Loan,
Mm-mm.
punta ka sa loan shark na how much? 20%. So that's a that's an example of what HR can do. So maybe you will be surprised na maraming employees na hindi sila aware na ganito pala yung benefits nila if they actually, ito pala yung advantages if I get a loan from SSS, rather than going to a loan shark. So a simple, education program about, oh, ito yung mga benefits mo. This is how it's gonna help you if you actually access, SSS loan as opposed to going to a loan shark. So it depends on your, maybe I would say, depends on your willingness to invest. If you're the kind of company who can afford to do, who can make that savings program for your company, like what I have meant, like the example I've mentioned earlier, then by all means do that. I've known a lot of companies that does that. But if you are an organization that's just starting to explore, like we want our staff to be economically empowered, but we don't have the budget yet. You can start with the simple education programs and just, for example, I'll give you an example of the financial education part, because a lot of companies are doing this. They would invite a financial wellness speaker,
Mm-hmm.
which is really great. The concern with that is sometimes the programs that most financial literacy trainers do is it's a one size fits all approach
It's
that
not tailor fit for the employee.
do not benefit those that need it most. So what you might want to do is maybe gumawa ka ng two levels of programming. Like maybe one program for that will consist of like basic financial literacy, and it's specially designed to help employees. Like for example, when I design programs for a specific organization, I would identify like, okay, so ano yung magiging ano natin, ano yung content. For example, if the issue is tardiness kasi hindi marunong mag-budget, then I would create a program to help the employees develop skills, financial skills specific to preparing for work. So those are examples of cost-effective initiatives that companies can start doing.
Got it. Got it. Ivy, as we end this program, I will give you the floor. Please, your last words about your topic. And again, please invite our audience. How can they connect with you? How can they reach out to you for your services? And what are those programs or upcoming programs that you are able to provide them?
Mhm. So if as I've mentioned earlier, the benefits of becoming economically empowered, the benefits of financial of financial capability is very broad, and a lot of organizations are still exploring the viability of this. If is this really relevant to my organization? And if you're interested in learning more about ano ba yung mga programs that might help us, you can send me an email at iv@ivylena.com. And in terms of program, here are the three main um, programs that we offer in terms of economic empowerment. So we offer program design. We can, if you're somebody consider, if your organization is seriously considering creating a wellness program that incorporates on how you can incorporate economic empowerment principles, and we can offer you with program design, and we can also help you design demographic specific financial education. So if we want to train the newbies, for example, an economic empowerment program for those who are new in the workplace could look different from those who are already earning a lot of money. That would look different for each demographic. So we can help you determine that. And we also offer short-term, like short human-centered financial education training. Most especially, Coach Darwin, that I forgot to mention this, but it's not part of my slide. But study shows that people during pagdating ng January, employees are more likely to face financial stress for the first 3 months, January, February, and March, because nagastos na nila sa during the holidays yung uh, their sweldo, their 13-month pay. So tapos nag-overspend pa sila. So we can offer human-centered financial education training to help employees avoid the financial stress when they start the first quarter of the year 2024. So if they're interested, they can email me at ivy@ivylena.com.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Ivy Llena, for being our guest resource today at the HR Cafe program. And for all of you guys who are watching, please reach out to Ivy at ivylena.com. And as I end the show, at the right now at the new state of work, the new normal of work, it's very competitive. A lot of companies are fighting for talents across the globe. A lot of employees now has a different mindset on how they see their career and how they see they should work. Now, companies are fighting not only in terms of salaries and benefits, but also trying to sell their culture and the different programs and initiatives that can actually offer. Being able to support your employees, not only with regards to their total well-being and economic health, is something that most companies should need to look into. Ang sabi nga, hindi lilipat yan ng ibang kumpanya kung siya ay masaya at nagkakaroon ng sarili niyang ipon, investment sa sarili niyang kumpanya kung nasaan siya. Hindi siya maghahanap ng kumpanya na mas malaki yung sweldo niya. Kaya naman naghahanap ng mas malaking sweldo mga empleyado kasi mas malaki yung ginagastos nila. Pero pag binibigyan mo sila ng opportunity to save, invest, and really grow their money while working with you, while working at your organization, they won't need to look for another company. So I hope that HR leaders, people managers, owners would look into how we can develop programs that would not only support employees' well-being, but also including their financial and economic well-being as well. This is another episode of the HR Cafe. Again, maraming salamat, Ivy Llena, for being our guest for today. And we'll see you again next week for another episode of the HR Cafe. Usapang trabaho, buhay at iba pa. Maraming salamat, everyone. God bless. Happy Sunday.